Hello, Homeschool Boss Moms. Kara Mendez here. I'm the founder of this group and your intuitive business coach exclusively for homeschooling entrepreneurs. So today I'm really excited to be talking about, we're continuing on the conversation around clarity. And I was inspired to share with you guys today about how sometimes we just actually don't know what we want. Right? We're like, I think I know, but I don't really know. Well, here I'm going to share with you a little tip on how to lean into that a little bit more, how to really figure out like what you do want. So I like to sometimes do this, like you make a list, right? You just fold your paper in half. On one column, you put like what you don't want, what you don't like what's not working, and you write all that shit down, right? It gets a little ugly, right? It can get a little ugly. It's a little scary. You might bring forth a little bit of tears, some anger. It's okay. Let it out. Do your thing, right? Hey, Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany, I'm so glad you're here. Yes, so make a list of the things that you don't want, okay? And then it's going to make it so much easier for you to make the list on the other side of what you do want, right? Because you want the opposite of those things that you don't want, right? Like you don't want exhaustion. You don't want to feel resentful towards your husband. You don't want to be yelling at your kids all the time. You don't want to feel overwhelmed, right? Well, what do you want? Like maybe you want to feel happy, you want to feel supported, you want to feel calm and balanced and centered and grounded. You want to feel these, you want to feel these ways that you want to feel safe, right? You don't want to feel stressed. You want to feel spacious. So you take the things that aren't working in your life to gain clarity on what it is that you do want, right? So maybe you don't know exactly how to change those things that aren't working for you right now, but maybe you know how you want to feel, right? Or you know like that you just know that you want to feel more supported, right? Or you want to feel, like I said, more calm, centered, balanced, grounded, etc., right? And so you can take that and then you can say, okay, well, what can I do to feel those things, right? So this is kind of like, if any of you are familiar with the Desire Map, I love Danielle Laporte. She is the author of the Desire Map, and I have done the Desire Map process every year for, I don't know, probably the last like 3 or 4 years now. And it's just very, very clarifying. In fact, I even used her planner. She, in the front of her planner, it literally says, what will I do to feel the way I want to feel today? And every day, as you're filling out your journal or you're filling out your planner, she has like a prompt. How do you want to feel today? And what will you do to feel that way? And I think that is really, really powerful because, we often think of the things that we should do. We go straight for the doing things. But it's really important to stay tuned into like, how do I really want to feel? Because then that is where we want to that's the place that we want to take action from, right? Okay, so let's see here. I feel like I'm getting a little off track. Okay. So what are some of the things that have helped bring you some clarity, right? And this is just, I would love to see you guys do these exercises at home, snap a picture, post it in the links or post it in the comments below so we can see how this helped you bring some clarity. And this is a perfect time of year to do that. If you don't already have all of your goals set, or what maybe you do, right? But you can still go back through. Sometimes we just like write down our goals based on what we think we should do, what we could do, but not really what's necessarily in alignment with who we are and what we really, truly, truly want, right? So let's use what we don't like as a way to help clarify and bring about the things that we actually do want to create in our lives. So there's your exercise for today. Make a list. Let me know if you have any questions, if you're still feeling stuck or don't know what the hell you want. That's okay. Reach out. I'm here, and we are all here to support you. And we would love for you to do nothing more than follow your heart's desires this 2019. All right. Take care, Homeschool Boss Moms. If you want to do this exercise and take it an even step further, then that is what we're going to be doing in my course, Back to Center. It's Back to Center. It's an 8-week reset for the homeschool boss mom to build foundational practices to cultivate more, cultivate more ease and grace and shift out of the chaos, right? So if you are interested in learning more about that, I will drop the link below. But it's going to be an 8-week program, as I mentioned. And we will have bi-weekly group coaching calls. There will be 6 modules total, so there'll be 2 weeks of integration, so that there's a little bit of time built in for you to get caught up and do everything that you need to do. And it's going to be like just packed full of information that's going to really help you build a foundation for you to have a sustainable homeschool boss mom life, right? Like, these are the practices that I've used and that I have taught other women to use that have helped women double their income while reducing their workload. They have, my own self, I have went from adrenal fatigue to building a second business and feeling more connected to my family and also connected to myself, cultivating a self-care practice. This is where these are the tools that I've used to what I feel become more whole and more happy and more conscious and more mindful. These are like the foundational habits that have just made such a big difference to me. And those are getting clarity, right? Like knowing what it is that I really wanted and just really learning how to like tap in and tune into my own inner intuition. That's something that so many of us bypass so easily, because we're not taught to cultivate that anymore in our culture, unfortunately. And I know that there are a lot of women who are feeling called back to tuning in and listening to that inner wisdom. And so that's something that we talk a lot about in Module 1. Oh, Torsh, good. Yes, more mindfulness and connection. Girl, aren't we all, right? You're welcome. We would love to have you join us in Back to Center if you feel called. And let me know. You're welcome to message me for any details or any questions that you have. Okay, so that's Module 1, clarity. And then Module 2, we're going to be diving into the self-care, because what homeschool boss mom does not need more self-care in her life? Oh my gosh. I went for like a decade as just like a mother. 6 years of that, I believe, were like as homeschooling mom, and the entire time I was running a business. And I had zero self-care, like zero. Like, I don't even know how I survived that long. So anyhow, ended up with adrenal fatigue. As many of you may know my story. I have 5 kids, if you don't already know that. So I spent like a decade just like in the mom fog. And self-care has revolutionized my life. It's one of those things that I honestly feel like it took me on this like spiritual, like I would say my second spiritual awakening occurred during my self-care journey. And I would love nothing more than to witness you all go through that too. It's one of those things that self-care offers you, like you're giving yourself a level of compassion, and then that compassion ripples out to your family, to your clients, to your marriage, to your relationships, like to everyone else. So when you have compassion for you, you can so much more easily give it to others. And that was like something that I could have never like expected to happen, but was definitely one of the greatest gifts. I can be a very I'm very driven, right? And I'm very high achiever, very like go, like to like, get all the things done. And it's for my marriage, it's made such a big difference because I used to always try to like push my husband to do more. He's not like me in that way. Like, and so I had to learn to like honor his process more, right? And then in return, he taught me to like slow down when I don't feel like, I can push anymore, right? And so in fact, I try not to push at all anymore. I'm like, oh, I'm pushing. Oh, I need to stop. So that was a really, really big part of learning the self-care process. The next module 3 is mindset. And I feel like mindset is everything. So, I could almost just teach exclusively on mindset because it's so, so powerful. I've shared this story before. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but like there were years in my life, periods of time in my life where, well, I would say probably the first 27 years of my life, really, where I had that like really mean inner self-talk, right? It was just like, you suck, you're broken, no one loves you, like you're stupid, you're fat, like it just was mean as shit, right? And so I spent like a whole year, when my son was about 1 until the age of about 2, and I just like did affirmations, like I went inward and I just did all this inner work and I really worked on the mindset, and I literally was able to delete all of those mean, nasty voices from my head. Like they literally do not exist anymore. So now I still do mindset work all the time, right? I still learn and honor and tune into that inner voice or any kind of fears that might be popping up, any limiting beliefs that I can see going on. And I really work through those to reprogram my subconscious mind. So module 3 is going to be where we really deep dive onto what are those beliefs that are holding you back? What are those beliefs that are holding you back, and how you can reframe those and move forward. And I have a process that I've learned and that's worked really amazing for me that I would love to share with you guys, so that you can take that into, and then this is something you can apply over and over and over again for the rest of your life. It's amazing. It's just, again, like these are foundational tools, foundational practices. Let's see. So then we'll have the week 4 is going to be like an integration week where we'll just, there will be no new content, but everybody can kind of get caught up, and I will still be there for coaching purposes. And then week 5, we're going to go into energy management. Wait, is this, or simplifying? I think we're going to do simplifying first. So simplifying is something I'm super, super passionate about. In fact, it's the topic that we were talking about in the Chaos to Grace Revolution this month. And it's just made also a really big difference in my life, and it's become a foundational practice that I live by now. And you can simplify in all the different ways, and it just frees up all your bandwidth, and gives you more time, gives you more, it makes space, right? It just provides like this spaciousness in your life that when we're juggling homeschooling and motherhood, and most of us marriage or any kind of relationships for that matter, and a business, like there needs to be a level of spaciousness happening. And so we have to simplify these different areas of our life in order to make this lifestyle sustainable. Let's see. We also go through, then the next module is energy management. Again, after having adrenal fatigue, I learned that it's just what you have to do. You have to learn how to manage your energy better. And what that meant for me was really learning how to say no to the things that didn't feel good and say yes to the things that were a hell yeah. And by doing that, and again, there's like this balancing act of like listening to your intuition and like knowing what you want, so being clear, all of these different things, and they all kind of start to tie in together, and they all play off of each other. But when and obviously when you've simplified, then there's just like less things to manage, period. And that frees up your energy, right? Because I feel like what it comes down to is like your energetic bandwidth, and like having enough energy to like to sustain you through the day, right? And so there's practices that you can do to support that, and there's habits, and there's all kinds of different things that I talk about in the Back to Center course for this particular module of energy management. And then the last module is planning. So some of you may have seen that we just did a virtual planning retreat inside the Chaos to Grace Revolution, but this will be a module specifically on planning inside of the Back to Center course, because planning is essential. It's an essential practice, a habit that will serve you greatly to, again, allow for this lifestyle to be sustainable and enjoyable. I did this life for many, many years, and it felt so hard. It was such a struggle, and it was so miserable, and I just felt like there were so many consequences, right? Like it wasn't enjoyable anymore. And I was like, but I knew that there was a way that it could work. I just had to do it different. I didn't know exactly what that was at that time. And so this was like, I was like, I'm going to do this, but it's going to have to feel good, right? And so this Back to Center course is a way of like being able to do this life, all of the things, and for it to all feel good, right? So anyhow, that, and then the last week is another integration week, and again, there will be group coaching calls throughout the whole entire course where you can get on, and you'll get your chance to be in the hot seat. And just get some one-on-one coaching from me. And all those calls will be recorded. So, yeah. If any of you feel called to join me with that, we already have some women who are enrolled, and I'm really looking forward to it. All of the details I'll put in the link. I'll put the link below, and you guys can check out all the details there. And of course, if you have any questions or anything at all, you're welcome to just message me privately. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Okay? Love you ladies lots. Take care. Happy New Year. So excited for what you guys are creating this year, and for all the clarity that you are about to have with the little exercise in the beginning. So yeah, and if you guys have any questions and you want to drop them below in the comments, even on the replay, go ahead and do that. I'm here. I just tag me and I'll come back, okay, and answer any questions that you have. But I want to see those. I want to see those screenshots of the what's not working, and then how that when you flip that over, the clarity that came from that exercise. Okay, take care. Bye.